Stellar Blade can be a very punishing game, but with these early game tips, it should be a lot more easier, starting with the first one. There are various types of chests that you'll find in your game. You have the basic ones, which you simply go over to and open. You'll sometimes find chests where you have to defeat a certain amount of enemies in the area to open up. You'll also find chests that require you to input buttons that will match an exact order that you're going to have to go through, but usually has about 3 tries. Then you're going to have chests that have random button inputs that show up randomly on the passcode screen. You're going to have to select whatever arrow direction that shows up on it. You will also find tons of chests that will require you to have passwords, so make sure you're going around and finding humans that may have the password on them. Don't ignore human bodies, because that'll let you open up the chest to find some extremely good loot. Throughout your playthrough, you're going to need passcodes to access new areas and items. You can find these passcodes by scanning the environment for humans and investigating their bodies. But don't worry, you won't have to memorize or screenshot anything. Once you've investigated the body, the passcode will be in your inventory. Having the passcode in your inventory will then allow you to request a hint that reveals the code as you type it in. Press the touchpad to have your drone scan the surrounding area. Scanning the area will reveal loot locations, enemy locations, and very useful objects nearby. So if you ever feel lost, just press it. When a human is holding more than just lore notes, the game will throw you a hint by playing a faint pulsing sound when nearby. That pulsing sound is your indication that they have a high value item like beta cores that come in useful later. Keep an eye out for important materials on the ground. You won't pick them up just by walking over them unless you turn on auto loot in your settings. With auto loot enabled, Eve will automatically collect items when she passes over them. Otherwise, you'll have to manually pick them up by holding R2. To avoid the hassle, just go to your settings, turn on the auto loot, and make your life a lot easier. Balloon bots can be hard to spot and will run away as soon as they notice you. Be sure to chase them down so you don't miss out on any helpful drone upgrades or any of the loot that they can provide for you. Don't rush to your destination. Even though the game is not completely open world, there are plenty of places to explore. Make sure that you search the area you are in thoroughly before you move on, because you'll find items on the floor that are going to be really important. Some of these items you find on the floor can also be purchased, and in some special cases, even outfits for Eve. If you are short on materials or items that you need for a specific quest line or for an upgrade, make sure that you check on the local shops for anything you may need. Accept as many quests as possible. Accepting new quests while you have one active will have no effect on any of your previous ones. Starting multiple quests at once can help you save time completing them. For example, if I planned on completing bulletin board quest, I would have to return to the board for each one I finish. But if I accept them all in one shot, I'd only have to return to the board once to turn them all in, saving me a ton of time and effort. Increase your affinity with shopkeepers by purchasing items from them. The more expensive the item, the greater the boost to your affinity. Boosting affinity will open up new items to be purchased and missions to be completed. This is how you get outfits, earrings, and even glasses. Psst. You get suits like this. A big pro tip is hit that subscribe button to see more Stellar Blade content. Now on to our next tip. Keep an eye out for collectible cans you might come across during your travels. They might seem like worthless items at first, but they're actually extremely useful. The more cans you collect, the more they increase your combat consumable limits over time, as well as unlocking a suit if you collect all of them. If you swipe up on your touchpad, you'll be taken to the map screen where you can see the points of interest, set map objectives, or even scope out the terrain to plan your travel route. As you explore, you'll most likely come across payphones. By using them, you'll be able to fast travel and unlock that specific fast travel point so you can get from one location to another, which is going to save you a lot of time from just walking all the way to a location. Resting at camps refills your health, but there is a trade-off. While your tumblers and meters refill, it'll cause your enemies on the map to respawn. Which leads us into our next tip, because if you feel under-leveled for your area, you can actually use this mechanic to your advantage by farming enemies to get a couple more skill points. Supply camps have a lot more stuff than regular camps. Making it to a supply camp means you can use the repair console to upgrade weapons, increase your rechargeable tumbler count, and even boost your exospines to enhance Eve's combat skills. Not only that, but you can craft suits here as well. Don't ignore your gear. Equipping gear in your gear sockets can greatly boost your combat capabilities, especially when paired with an exospine that complements its abilities well. So feel free to mix and match according to your taste and playstyle. Invest in the survival skill tree early, specifically these 5. The focus boost skill will make it easier to perfect parry. The reflex boost skill will make it easier to perfect dodge. Blink teleports behind the enemy when they try to use a move that flashes blue. This will allow you to teleport right behind the enemy to follow up with successful attacks. The repulse skill will allow you to create distance between you and your enemy when they are trying to use a fatal attack. This move also increases your range damage when revealing the enemy weaknesses you can target with your gun. That's a little orange glow that shows up on the enemy, and you can fire and the gun does even more damage on them. When you notice the blink or repulse prompt, wait until your sword flashes with the same color before you execute the move. If you respond on the first color flash, you'll miss entirely and take damage, which sucks. If you find yourself unsure about which skill that you'd like to purchase next, you can try out the skills you haven't even learned yet at the kiosk in any of the camps. This will allow you to see if a skill fits your playstyle before even spending your hard-earned points. Simply hover over the skill and then press square to enter training. You'll never be locked into one build. You can reset your skills at any time by using this, an SP initializer. This lets you reallocate all your SP and reinvest them into whatever skills you choose. With all the combos and beta skills you'll be unlocking, it can be easy to forget about things like potions or grenades. Holding down the D-pad in any direction will stop time and open your menus, allowing you to pre-select the quick item you'd like to use safely. After you selected the item you want to use, simply press the D-pad in the direction of the selected item to use it. Whether you're one shot from death and in need of a quick heal, or you're surrounded by enemies and need a bomb to clear some space, these items come in super handy for all sorts of tough situations. Pay close attention to meters in the game. They're crucial for both your combat strategy and understanding your enemies. Here's how they work. Shield meters. When active, Eve gains damage reduction with the effect increasing as their protection level goes up. However, the protection level decreases each time the shield absorbs a certain amount of damage, indicated by this. The enemy's shield meter operates in the exact same way. Once you break through it, you can deal even more damage. The balance meter. This represents the enemy's stance stability and is located between their HP and shield gauge. Reducing the balance meter will make enemies way more vulnerable to your attacks, allowing you to be much more effective in battle. The beta energy meter. When this meter is full, you can activate your powerful beta skills to inflict significant damage. So just keep an eye on this as it builds up, and you'll see the icon abilities that you'll use with your beta skills glow. Keep an eye on special attack colors when it comes to enemies' behavior. Yellow indicates an unguardable attack, signaling a need for a perfect dodge. This is where you'd press circle. Blue suggests a grab move, requiring the skill blink to evade as soon as you see that indicator on your screen. Purple means it's a finisher move, which can be countered with a repulse skill. Red will point out that the enemy is about to do an insane combo attack. This is where you need to parry or perfect parry to counter effectively. If you just hold up dodge, they will break through your shields. When fighting a new enemy, don't be too aggressive. Playing defensive will help you feel them out and understand their moveset. Blocking is great when feeling an enemy out. Not everything has to be a parry while you're learning. Learning a moveset takes time. Don't expect to beat stronger enemies on your first try. Think of those attempts as learning opportunities instead of actual winning efforts. Running is okay, sometimes. A high-pressure offense with a heavy focus on perfect parries is great, but so is surviving. Don't be afraid to put some space between you and your enemy so you can heal up and reset. Prioritize the parry. Perfect parries help you drain your opponent's balance gauge. Draining the enemy's balance gauge will leave them groggy, allowing you to perform special attacks called retributions. These retributions deal significantly higher damage than combos, so triggering these specials is extremely important when dealing with boss battles or hard to kill enemies. Don't panic parry. Timing is crucial. Mashing the parry button will likely result in a missed parry and could damage your shield or health. To consistently achieve perfect parries early in the game, focus on getting your parry timing right and understanding your enemy's basic moves. When facing down an enemy, it can be a little scary to meet their flashy flurries head on, but trust me, composure is key. Staying aggressive while pressuring enemies head on will force more opportunities to perfect parry. This is important because parries break balance and lead to huge damage. That being said, spamming will get you killed. Normal attacks don't deal significant damage on tough enemies, so button smashing will get you nowhere. Don't get too greedy. Overcommitting to extended combinations can leave you exposed to significant damage or, in worst cases, death. In combat, you might see Eve get knocked down after taking a hit, rendering her unable to move for a few moments. However, when this happens, you can quickly recover by using a move called Impact Control. To use Impact Control, just press circle when Eve gets down, and you'll see her bounce right back up, ready for action. Landing attacks on an enemy builds beta energy. Beta energy is needed to use beta skills, strong attacks with a variety of different effects and utility in battle. The more beta skill upgrades you invest in, the more powerful those attacks and their effects will become. Rush is an incredibly useful combat skill that helps you close gaps, but you can only use it when it's fully charged. You'll know your rush skill is ready when the action indicator above your beta skills lights up in blue. Don't panic. There are perfect dodge moments just like with parries. As you gain more skills, perfect dodges will create openings for your follow-up attacks right after you dodge successfully. This will allow you to stay offensive even when you're being pressured. Perfect dodges aren't Eve's only defense against unguardable attacks. You can interrupt unguardable enemy attacks by using your beta skill. If you see the unguardable indicator flash yellow and your beta skills are charged, use them to stop the incoming attacks. Not every incoming attack requires a perfect parry or a full dodge. Sometimes the simplest solution is the best. So next time you're having trouble with an enemy, just try sidestepping some of their straightforward attacks and launching one of your own. This approach works especially well with smaller, weaker enemies that have a tendency to surround you. Be prepared for on-screen button prompts. It's not uncommon for the game to suddenly display screen commands during cinematic moments. Not responding to these prompts in time will cause Eve to take damage or, worst case, die. So if you're looking to avoid any unnecessary damage or death, just remember to stay alert during these crucial moments. The next tip is that you should check out this video right over here on my face.